There's an ancient saying, when we're young, we do everything to make others happy. But as we grow older, we realize that wise individuals often take the opposite approach. Welcome to today's video, where we'll explore 9 crucial things that smart men should avoid doing in their relationships. Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's greatest emperors, once observed that a person's greatest mistakes aren't just the things they do wrong, but often the things they should never have attempted in the first place. Ironically, the more intelligent someone is, the more likely they are to overthink and stumble into these very traps. In this video, I'll share insights rooted in Stoic philosophy, lessons that I, along with many others, have had to learn the hard way. These principles could save you from unnecessary pain and help you build stronger, more fulfilling connections. As you watch, you might find yourself nodding along, realizing you've faced similar situations. Before we dive in, leave a comment if you've ever made one of these mistakes. Your story might just help someone else avoid falling into the same trap. Number 1. Keep your past private. Let's start with one of the most overlooked yet crucial aspects of relationships, the importance of keeping your past private. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, protecting your history, your personal experiences, challenges and mistakes has become a rare and valuable practice. The Stoics believed in discretion and the strength that comes from controlling what we reveal. Why keeping your past private matters? In relationships, there's often pressure to bear it all. Every secret, every mistake, every regret. While honesty is vital, oversharing can backfire, leaving you vulnerable to judgment, misunderstandings, or even manipulation. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." He reminds us to focus on who we are now and who we aim to become, rather than letting the shadows of our past define us in others' eyes. Your past is a part of your story, but it doesn't have to be a public chapter. It's not about secrecy or deceit. It's about discernment. You have the right to choose what to share and when, ensuring that your vulnerability is met with trust and respect. The dangers of oversharing. Misjudgment. Sharing too much too soon can lead others to form opinions about you based on a version of yourself that no longer exists. Your mistakes or struggles may overshadow the growth you've achieved. Manipulation. Unfortunately, not everyone will handle your openness with care. Sharing personal information can make you vulnerable to emotional manipulation or exploitation in the wrong hands. Loss of mystery. Stoic philosophy values restraint. Oversharing not only diminishes the sense of mystery, but can also make a relationship feel unbalanced. As Seneca said, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life." Shifting power dynamics. When you reveal too much, especially early on, you may unknowingly hand over control of the narrative of your relationship, allowing your past to dictate its course. The Stoic perspective. The Stoics understood the value of restraint in both words and actions. They emphasized that true wisdom lies in knowing what to reveal and what to keep within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This includes the power to control what you share with others. Keeping your past private is not about avoiding accountability. It's about recognizing that your experiences are part of your personal growth, not ammunition for others to use against you. Privacy versus authenticity. It's essential to differentiate between privacy and authenticity. Being private doesn't mean being dishonest. Authenticity means presenting your true self in the present, not airing every detail of your past. When the time is right, sharing parts of your past with someone who has earned your trust can deepen a connection, but this should be done thoughtfully, in a way that adds understanding and intimacy rather than overshadowing the present. How to keep your past private set. Boundaries. Decide in advance what aspects of your past you're comfortable sharing. Practice polite but firm responses for when someone presses for more information than you're willing to give. Know your audience. Not everyone deserves full access to your history. Share selectively and with people who have proven themselves trustworthy. Focus on the present. When discussing your past, frame it in terms of the lessons you've learned and the growth you've achieved. Keep the focus on who you are now. Build trust. Gradually, deep connections take time. Let others earn the right to hear your story by demonstrating that they value and respect you. Remember your worth. Your past doesn't define your worth, and sharing it isn't a requirement for love or respect. Anyone who insists otherwise is likely not the right person for you. The benefits of privacy. Respect. People are more likely to respect you when you respect yourself enough to maintain boundaries. Control. Keeping your past private gives you control over your narrative, ensuring that it reflects the person you've become. Peace of mind. When you don't feel obligated to share everything, you're less likely to dwell on past mistakes or regrets. Deeper connections. Sharing selectively and meaningfully can make your relationships richer and more genuine. Number 2. Face your fear of being alone. Let's address something most people avoid: the fear of being alone. It's a fear that drives so many decisions in relationships, often leading to settling for less than we deserve or staying in situations that hurt us. But, as the Stoics taught us, facing this fear is not just important, it's transformative. Epictetus said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." And one of the greatest judgments we impose on ourselves is that being alone is something to be feared, even avoided at all costs. Think about how this fear operates. It makes people cling to unhealthy relationships, accept disrespect, and tolerate behavior they would never accept from anyone else. It convinces them that being with someone, anyone, is better than being on their own. But here's the truth. There's no greater prison than staying in a relationship that traps your potential, your peace, and your dignity. The illusion of security. People often mistake a relationship for security. They think as long as they're with someone, they're safe from loneliness, from societal judgment, from the hard work of self-discovery. But this is an illusion. The Stoics understood that true security doesn't come from external relationships, it comes from within. Seneca said, "A man who is at peace with himself does not need the approval of others." Yet so many tie their self-worth to having a partner, confusing companionship with value. Why fear of being alone is dangerous. Fear of being alone can lead to desperation. It's what drives people into toxic relationships and keeps them there long after the damage is done. Worse, it blinds them to the opportunities for growth that solitude provides. When you're afraid to be alone, you're not just avoiding loneliness, you're avoiding yourself. You fill the silence with someone else's presence instead of facing your own thoughts, fears, and truths. But the Stoics remind us, to master yourself is the ultimate power. Solitude, the path to strength. Here's what most people don't realize. Being alone isn't a weakness. It's a strength. It's a time to rediscover who you are, what you value, and what you truly want in life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." When you learn to embrace solitude, you stop seeking validation from others. You stop accepting scraps of attention as a substitute for love. You start building a life so fulfilling that anyone who enters it adds to your happiness rather than becoming its sole source. the freedom of facing this fear. Facing the fear of being alone is liberating. It teaches you that you're enough as you are, that you don't need anyone else to complete you. That being alone doesn't mean you're unloved or unworthy. It means you're brave enough to walk your path, even if no one is beside you for now. The Stoic approach. The Stoics didn't just tolerate solitude, they embraced it. They saw it as a necessary part of life, a time to reflect, grow, and strengthen the mind. Epictetus reminds us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. And here's the truth. No one can control whether another person stays in their life. People leave, change, or disappoint us. The only constant is ourselves. The solution. So how do you face the fear of being alone? Shift your perspective. Instead of seeing solitude as a punishment, view it as an opportunity. Use this time to focus on personal growth, learn new skills, and reconnect with your values. Strengthen your inner world. Cultivate a sense of peace and purpose within yourself. Meditate, journal, or engage in activities that nurture your soul. Build a fulfilling life. Fill your life with meaningful pursuits, hobbies, and friendships. When you're content with your own company, you won't settle for relationships that don't align with your values. Let go of desperation. Desperation repels healthy relationships. Confidence, on the other hand, attracts the right kind of people. Practice gratitude. Appreciate the freedom that comes with being alone. It's a chance to set your own course without compromise. Number 3, manage your time wisely. Let's address something that might hit close to home, wasting your most precious resource, time. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said something powerful. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Nowhere is this more evident than in relationships. Think about it. How many hours have you spent over-analyzing text messages, waiting for calls that never came, or trying to decode mixed signals? How many weekends have you wasted prioritizing someone who wasn't even sure about you? Marcus Aurelius put it simply, time is like a river. Once it flows past, it's gone forever. Yet I've seen too many men squander their prime years chasing people who treat them as backup options. They cancel plans with friends, skip the gym, or put their goals on hold for someone who wouldn't do the same for them. The hard truth? While you're making someone else a priority, they might be making you an option. Time is the only resource you can't earn back. You can always rebuild finances, forge new relationships, or create new opportunities, but lost time is gone forever. What's the solution? Start treating your time like the valuable asset it is. Before you invest hours, days, or months in someone, ask yourself, are they investing the same in me? Are you spending your time building a genuine connection, or just filling an emotional void? A wise man doesn't just manage his money well, he manages his time even better. In the end, wasting time on the wrong person doesn't just cost you hours, it costs you pieces of your life. Number 4, be proud of your achievements. Here's a paradox many smart men face. The more they achieve, the more they hesitate to own their success in relationships. Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. But let's be honest, there's a fine line between humility and hiding your light. I've seen highly accomplished men downplay their success, hide their ambitions, or even pretend to be less capable, all because they're afraid of appearing arrogant or intimidating. They'll build businesses, win awards, and reach milestones, but when it comes to relationships, they act as though none of it matters. Why? Because somewhere along the way they learned that being too successful might scare people off. But here's the truth. If your achievements make someone uncomfortable, that's not your problem to fix. Marcus Aurelius said, The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. In this context, don't dim your light just because it might make others uncomfortable. Being proud of your achievements isn't about bragging. It's about acknowledging your hard work, resilience, and vision. A strong partner doesn't want a man who hides his success. She wants someone who inspires her to reach for her own dreams. What's the solution? Own your journey. Share your victories not to boast, but to inspire. The right person won't feel threatened by your success. They'll be excited to be part of your next chapter. Your achievements are part of your story. Don't edit them out for the sake of someone else's comfort. Number 5. Protect your mental health. Let's talk about something men rarely discuss: protecting your mental health in relationships. The Stoics taught us that our mind is our fortress, yet too many men allow their mental peace to crumble for the sake of keeping someone else happy. Think about it. We go to the gym to protect our physical health. We work hard to secure our financial health. But when it comes to mental health, we often allow someone else's drama or negativity to tear it apart. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." I've seen brilliant men, calm and collected in every other area of life, turn into anxious wrecks in unhealthy relationships. They check their phones every 5 minutes, overthink every word, and sacrifice their peace of mind just to keep things afloat. The truth is, your mental health is the foundation for everything else. When you let it deteriorate, every aspect of your life, work, friendships, goals, suffers. What's the solution? Prioritize your mental well-being above all else. Set boundaries, communicate your needs, and if a relationship consistently drains you instead of uplifting you, have the courage to walk away. Mental health isn't just about avoiding stress. It's about actively cultivating joy, peace, and self-respect. Conversation: losing sleep over someone else's mood. Swings: many men convince themselves that constant emotional turmoil is just part of a relationship. They lose sleep over someone else's mood swings, telling themselves it's normal, that this is just what love is. But here's the truth. If your relationship is consistently disrupting your peace of mind, it's not love, it's emotional warfare. The Stoics taught us a profound truth. Your mental peace is not negotiable. It's not something to be sacrificed, even for the sake of love. Because if you lose your inner peace, what are you truly bringing to the relationship? A stressed, anxious, depleted version of yourself. That's not healthy for you or your partner. The solution: set boundaries. Learn to say no. Walk away from drama. Most importantly, understand this. Someone who truly cares about you will never force you to choose between their happiness and your mental health. Maintaining your mental health isn't selfish, it's essential. At the end of the day, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't build a strong, healthy relationship from an unhealthy mind. Number 6. Be true to yourself. Let's tackle something crucial: the art of staying true to yourself in relationships. Albert Camus once said, "The moment you start changing who you are to please someone else is the moment you start losing yourself." How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How often have you pretended to like something you hated, agreed with opinions you didn't believe in, or changed your behavior just to keep someone happy? The Stoics teach us that when we act against our nature, we suffer twice. Once from the effort it takes to perform, and again from the disappointment when it fails. I've seen strong, principled men abandon their values, change their goals, and distance themselves from friends and family just to fit into someone else's ideal. They become actors, playing a role they think their partner wants to see. But here's the harsh reality. When you stop being authentic, you've already lost. Ironically, when you try to be what someone else wants, you become less attractive, not more. Authenticity has a power no performance can match. Epictetus said it best. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Being true to yourself might not always make you popular, but it will make you respected. The solution: start saying no. Share your real opinions. Stand firm in your values. Yes, some people might walk away, but isn't it better to be alone for being who you are than to be accepted for being someone you're not? The right person won't want you to change who you are. They'll inspire you to become the best version of yourself, not a different person altogether. Number 7, don't sacrifice your goals for others. Too many good men derail their ambitions in the name of love. Seneca said it perfectly: no person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to waste their time chasing what they can't have. I've seen men put their careers on hold, abandon business opportunities, and give up on lifelong passions, all to fit into someone else's life plan. They tell themselves it's compromise or that love requires sacrifice. But here's the cold truth: when you give up your dreams for someone else's, you're not just sacrificing goals, you're sacrificing your essence. Worse yet, years later, these men wake up filled with resentment, wondering where their dreams went. They look in the mirror and hardly recognize themselves. As Marcus Aurelius warned, look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look. The problem isn't just the missed opportunities, it's the loss of respect, both self-respect and the respect of their partner. Let's be honest, no one truly admires someone who abandons their purpose for love. The solution: keep your dreams alive. Pursue your goals with passion. Include your partner in your journey if they want to join, but don't derail your path for theirs. A real partnership enhances both people's journeys. It doesn't require one person to abandon theirs. The right person will support your ambitions, not compete with them. Number 8, prioritize family and friends. A critical mistake many men make is sacrificing their core relationships for a romantic partner. Plato was onto something when he said, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile." Too often, I've seen men slowly disconnect from friends, miss family events, and abandon traditions just to please their partner. They think they're investing in the relationship, but in reality, they're burning bridges they might desperately need later. The tragedy: by the time these men realize their mistake, they often find themselves isolated. Friends have moved on, family relationships have grown distant, and if the romantic relationship ends, they're left truly alone. The solution: maintain your friendships. Keep your family close. Make time for the people who were there before the relationship and who will be there if it ends. A partner who tries to isolate you from your support system isn't protecting your relationship, they're controlling your life. Your close relationships are your safety net. Don't cut it away. Number 9, avoid excessive dependency. Finally, let's discuss the trap of excessive dependency. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Too often, intelligent, capable men become completely dependent on a woman's approval, attention, or presence. They obsessively check their phones, plan their lives around her availability, and grow anxious if she doesn't respond quickly. Here's the Stoic truth: when you make someone else responsible for your peace, you become a slave to their behavior. And the paradox: the more dependent you become, the less attractive you appear. No one wants to be someone's entire world. It's too much pressure. When you make someone your everything, you lose yourself, and eventually you lose them too. The solution: build a life so full and meaningful that a relationship enhances it rather than completes it. Have your own interests, maintain your own space, And remember that true strength comes from within. As Marcus Aurelius taught, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Closing, these 9 Stoic principles aren't just rules for relationships. They're a guide for living a life of dignity, strength, and authenticity. If this video resonated with you, hit the like button and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Let us know in the comments which principle spoke to you most. Your experience might inspire someone else. Remember, the best relationships aren't built on sacrifice or dependency, but on mutual respect and individual strength. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.